Hi everyone! Welcome to Red Fox Sewing and Crafting, and welcome to my craft room. I'm Joanna. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this. It is a one-page wonder. So we have two flaps over here. This opens up. Put some pictures in here. And then this flips open. And you have a couple pockets right here. And I'm going to show you how to make it now. So this is the cut sheet. And if you want, you can pause this and take a screenshot just so you know how to cut everything. And for this, this project, you're going to need a piece of paper that isn't directional. This side kind of is, but for me it won't matter very much. So you just want to make sure of that. So the first cut we are going to make is 4 inches. So just take your piece of paper, scroll right down there, and this is going to be the base. Next cut, you're going to turn this so that the 12 is at the top, and you're going to cut at 6. Keep this page to the side for now. We're going to focus on this one. So turn this so that the 8 is at the top, and we're going to cut at 6 again to make a 6 by 6 inch square. Next, we are going to make this into a 1 3/4 inch strip. And this is the one of 2 pieces out of this whole sheet that we will not need, so you can just throw that away. And then we're just going to cut this in half to make this 2 1 3/4 by 3 inch rectangles. Now we're going to take our other 6 by 8 inch piece, and on the 8 inch side, we are going to cut at 4 inches. And then turn this to the 6 inch side, cut a 2.5 inch piece and a 3/4 inch piece. And then we're going to flip this back around to the 4 inches, cut a 3/4 inch, another 3/4 inch piece, and a 2 3/4. And this should give you a 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 inch square. And then this is going to be the second piece that we don't need. So take your last 4 by 6 inch piece, and at the 6 inch side, you're going to cut 3.5 inches, and then this other piece you're going to put to the side, and then flip your 3.5 inch rectangle over to the 4 inch side, and you're going to cut at 2.5 inches. And that is all the pieces that we need. So now you're going to grab your scoreboard, and starting with your 4 by 12, you are going to score at 3 3/4, at 4, at 8, and at 8 1/4. And you're just going to crease on all those score marks that you made. And then this is the base of the little one-page wonder folio. So now we are going to take our two 1 3/4 by 3-inch rectangles, and we're going to put the 3 inches at the top and score at 1/4 on both of these. The next one you are going to want to grab is your 2.5 by 4-inch piece. Should be this one. Yes. And with the 4 inches at the top, you're going to score at 1/2 inch, just like that. Oh, no. Ignore what I said. You're going to score at 1/2 inch at the 2.5 inch. So if you made a score at the 2 inch, that is okay. That's just going to, you're not going to see it very much. Next, you're going to want your 2 3/4 inch pieces, these two, and you are going to score both of them at 1/2 inch and at 3/4. And then you should have another 2.5 by 4 inch, and with the 2.5 inch side at the top, you are going to score at 1 inch. Okay. That is all the scoring that we're going to do for now, because the other one is going to be a little complicated. So we're just going to start building everything right now, and then we will go back to the last piece, just to make it a little easier. So first is we're going to take our two 1 3/4 by 3 inch pieces. We're going to put a little bit of glue on the 1/4 inch tabs, and we're going to put them on the left side of our 4-inch paper, making sure that we're centering on the leftmost score mark. Now you can add a little bit more space if you want. I can probably, yeah, I'm gonna carefully move this one up just a little bit. We all make mistakes sometimes, so it's okay. There. Now we are going to go over to the rightmost one. And we are going to take our 2.5 by 4 inch piece that we scored the 1/2 inch mark on, and we are going to glue on the inside of that 1/2 inch tab here. And we are going to put our 4 inch paper right on top of the 4 inch piece, the smaller piece, to give us an extra little flap here. And then we're going to take our our 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 inch piece, and we are going to glue it right on that flap, just like this. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. You don't have to glue the whole thing, oops, because it will stick fairly easily. You just want to make sure that you don't fold it, or you don't glue it too far over so that it interferes with the rightmost score mark, because that's how you're going to close it. So I'm going to open this up, and we are going to take your other 2.5 by 4 inch that you scored at the 1 inch mark, and we're going to make 2 little pockets right here. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue right on the 2 edges here on the 1 inch side, and I'm just going to fold back on that 1 inch score mark and just kind of burnish it a little bit to get that glue kind of tacky and make it stick. And then I'm going to take the whole thing on the back side, put glue on the 2 short sides and then the folded side. And then I'm going to stick it right on the edge of the flap. And I'm just going to kind of lift this whole thing up just a little bit so that I can make sure that I am not interfering with my score mark that I made. There. And now I have 2 pockets right here. And then we are going to take our 2.5 by 3.5 and 1.5 by 3.5, and we're going to make 2 more pockets. So I'm going to take my bigger one, put a little bead of glue on the 2 short sides and 1 long side, and I'm going to center it kind of between this folded piece right here and my score mark right here, so that I know I'm not going to be interfering with anything. And then I'm going to take my other smaller piece add a little bit of glue on here, and then I'm just going to add it right on top of the pocket I just put down, just like that. If you want, you can make little notches on these, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave them like that. And then you're going to fold this closed, and there's going to be a little bit of gappage on either side. That is what we want. And I am going to take my shorter piece, my 3/4 by 2 3/4, and I'm going to put it on the right side like this. And I'm going to actually line up my little piece on my mat here so that I can get it as centered as possible. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on just the 1/2 inch tab, and I'm just going to stick it down on the back, just like so. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my 3/4 by 4 inch piece. I'm going to lay it, make sure that it's folded correctly, and then just lay it on my mat here to make sure that I'm centered as much as possible. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on that 1/4 inch piece, and I'm just going to stick it down, or 1/2 inch piece, stick it down, and then got a nice little wrap. So now we're going to work on this piece. This is going to be a little complicated, so we're going to take this very slow. Get your scoreboard out, and you're going to want to make 4 score lines on either side. So you're going to do, or 3 score lines, sorry. Going to do 1 1/2, so you're going to do 1 1/2, 3, and 4 1/2. Then you're just going to rotate it 9 degrees once. I'm going to do the same thing. So 1 1/2, 3, and 4 1/2. I'm going to turn mine over just to make it a little bit easier for you to see. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take these 2 intersections right here, and I'm just going to fold my paper on between those 2 intersections. Like that. And then I'm just going to do it on all my sides. And what that makes is a little diamond in the center. And then you are going to take one corner and push it over to the center. I take next corner and push it over to the center. And you might have to kind of finagle your paper a little bit to get it to do what you want. So it might take a little bit of time, but in the end, you will get it. It'll just take a little bit of patience. Then take your next corner and fold it to the center. And then your last one and fold it to the center. Now this one you might just want to undo the whole thing and do this one separately, because it can get kind of crowded in that tiny little area. But once you get that, you should be able to kind of close all your sides and then just kind of smush it down. Now, since mine has this pattern in it, I'm going to just kind of flip it around really quick. If you look at the back, you have a nice little diamond from the center of your paper that you folded. And then the four corners are at the front. And it'll be really easy now, since you folded it, to just kind of push it open and then push it closed. So now, to make this work properly in your one-page wonder, you're just going to add a little bit of whatever kind of adhesive you're using just to the center diamond. You don't want to add anything to these parts, otherwise it will not work. It will stick down to your one-page wonder. And then you're just going to stick it in the middle, making sure that you are centered between these two score marks. And I kind of like to just stick it down here, open it up to make sure that I didn't get anything caught in it. And then use my finger to kind of rub the diamond here. And then close it back up. And there you go. So then, last thing to do is to close this up. And then grab some Velcro, and I'm going to do my large one first. So I'm just going to stick this as close to the edge as possible. Stick it down. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to this piece, because sometimes it does not like to work properly. And I'm just going to make sure that my piece is squared. And then I'm just going to lay down my second piece. Now I do have a little bit of Velcro sticking out. That is okay. If you want, you can cover that up with something or add a piece of a little bit more paper to this, or you can trim it off or whatever. With this one, I actually put a little button on top just to decorate it. You can leave it like this, however you want, but that is how to make this one-page wonder. So I hope that you enjoyed, that you make one yourself, and if you do, please tag us. Information will be at the bottom, and I will see you next time. Bye!